Since 2003, this is the Sports Source, East Tennessee's #1 sports talk show.
Brought to you by Junk Be Gone and the Garza Law Firm.
With your host, John Pennington. The Sports Source starts now.
Good Sunday morning. Welcome into the Sports Source. We appreciate you joining us on this, second day after Christmas. Hope you had a good one. We're going to talk about the fact that Jeremy Pruitt's job is still questionable, I guess. It's still, nobody knows what's coming. Is he definitely coming back? Is he not coming back? We'll discuss what the latest is and who's making that decision. We'll also talk about basketball in the back half of the show. Looking forward to Tennessee's game against Missouri on Wednesday, and also strengths and weaknesses of that team. We'll compare them to past great Vol teams of the last 20 years. How does this team stack up? Lots of interesting stuff to discuss today. Let's get right into it. Our first segment of this program is brought to you by Junk Be Gone. Need to get rid of the Christmas tree? The boxes, paper, bags from Christmas? The old furniture you replaced with new furniture? Well, that's easy. Call Junk Be Gone. You can load and they can haul, or they can do all the legwork too. They can load it up, haul it away. Junk Be Gone, great time to call them. I always use them spring cleaning. People use them around the year. They can also use them for your business. JunkBeGone.biz to learn more. All right, let's welcome in the first wave of panelists today. We have longtime sports writer in East Tennessee, Bob Hodge, back with us. Bob, thanks for joining us. Josh Ward, fresh off a Raiders game last night. Sorry about that.
Game took place, John.
It took place. Josh Ward, of course, works WNML, where you can hear him Monday through Friday from noon to 3. And sitting beside him, the birthday boy, Jimmy Himes, is with us. Happy birthday. Jimmy's here from WNML as well. You can hear him right after Josh. He's on from 3 to 7 Monday through Friday with John Wilkerson. All right, and you're on with Heather Harrington. Give everybody a plug here. Let's start with the Pruitt thing. When we last left you, it seemed there was blood in the water. The rumors were swirling at UT. Anybody you talked to, one person would tell you, oh, he's gone, 99% gone. Somebody else you talked to, no, he's back. Fulmer's got him. This is all overblown. Okay, here we are a week later. He's still the head coach. Philip Fulmer made it clear that he sees Pruitt as the future. He did that in a release regarding Tennessee's bowl, which they then canceled the very next day due to COVID issues. And by the way, there are a lot of people that don't believe they really had COVID over there. That's too big of a conspiracy theory. They've actually got the COVID. You couldn't ask 30-something people to lie and say, "Oh, I got COVID, I got contact traced." So that's conspiracy theory. They did have COVID, and that's why they canceled their bowl game. Still, Fulmer was pretty adamant that the bowl practices, if they had come about, would have been a primer for Pruitt's spring practice, was the way he put it. But now we're sitting here still wondering. There hasn't been an official, aside from that press release that kind of suggested he would be back, there's been no official, yes, he is returning. No coaches have been hired. So where are we? What is the latest in this situation? And we'll get to the investigation because that may be what we're waiting on. Is that the situation? Are we simply waiting on this internal investigation?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the situation. I talked to a number of people right before Christmas, and they said, look, nothing's going to happen before Christmas, nothing will happen right after Christmas. They're ceasing with the internal investigation by the University of Tennessee compliance until after the holidays. So if something comes down, I think that it would be in January. I have heard a number of things about how serious this situation is. We'd already talked about Eric Gray missing the football game, the last regular season game against Texas A&M, related to the investigation. There have been other accusations within the program. I think it all comes down to what they find, and if there's serious enough allegations regarding Tennessee's program and Pruitt, I don't think Pruitt's back.
Do you, even over Fulmer's objections, or if it comes back negative enough, Fulmer will say, "Yeah, I agree, get rid of it"?
I think he would agree if it's serious enough.
It'll be interesting because you can always roll that stuff up and put it on an assistant if you want to. We've seen that done many times in this profession. Bob?
No, I think Fulmer would have to, if it was serious enough. I think he would have to do something. And, we were talking last Saturday night when it was all, well, he'll be gone before in the morning and everything. Right. And then you all did the show and he was still here and he's still here. Does it all come down to the investigation? Yeah, I think so. And a lot of people think they want the investigation to find something, so that gives them the linchpin to try to, as was talked about last week, to get rid of him. I really don't think that. I mean, I really don't think they're sitting there looking for a reason to get rid of him, because if you were, wouldn't you just, if that's where you were, wouldn't you just go ahead and get rid of him? If that's where you're at, we got to find something because we want to get this guy out.
Well, as we said last week, you get a lot of people out there who they think that if you got him for cause, it's for cause he's done. You don't have to pay him anything. Yeah. It's not that simple.
No,
we said that last week. They're going to sue your backside, and you're probably at best going to negotiate this thing down. The idea that you can just slap him with this and send him on his way and he doesn't get a penny, that's not as realistic. So I know while you're asking that question, people are out there saying, well, of course, it's so they can get him out for free. You're probably not going to get him out for free. That's going to be difficult to do. Yeah. So it gets back to, if you wanted to make a change, why don't you just make a change? Why are we, isn't it extremely Tennessee that we're still sitting here deciding whether or not we're going to fire our coach after everyone else has made their decision? Josh, your thoughts on where they sit right now? Is the delay hurting the program?
Well, how could it not? Because you also have a recruiting process that you're going to try to finish out over the next 5 weeks or so, and all those recruits have questions about what's going on with the program. These questions that we're asking here on the show and that fans are asking online and in general conversation, recruits are asking, the coaches in some cases can't give great answers other than, yeah, everything's going to work out. But in the meantime, they're hearing from other schools saying, look at what's going on at Tennessee. But yeah, it's very, you said, is this not very Tennessee? Of course, this is so appropriate. And this week you had all the testing that had to take place. You have people who are being quarantined. It's a holiday week, so people who are investigating, are they working full hours this past week? So, I mean, that doesn't help you though. You're still on hold here right now.
You know, you're right. There have been the different rumors about what was going on. Who was involved in terms of assistant coaches. We talked about it last week, and you've got a couple of names that have been kicked around. The name Brian Niedermeyer has come up a couple of times in this thing, whether it traces back to him or not, and whatever it is. There's another side to this, and it's coming from some of the assistants who are letting it be known that when this is done, it's going to be laughable what they find in this investigation, because it's small potatoes, stuff you find anywhere, and people are really going to have egg on their faces. This was simply somebody who wants Pruitt out, leaking this information to get us all in trouble and make us look bad, and to try and force the administration to make a move. That's the other side of the rumors that are going out there. Right now, if you had to weigh in on the rumors, where are you leaning? Because both sides have a reason to say what they, I mean, if you're wanting rid of if you're wanting rid of Pruitt, you're going to be on the side that's saying, oh, it's bad. Ooh, we're going to find some bad stuff. And if you're an assistant coach over there, you're saying, they're not going to find anything. All's well, and you whistle past the graveyard. Where are you sitting right now in terms of how this thing shakes out?
Can I come down right in the middle?
No, I refuse.
Okay.
It has to be 51% in one direction.
If you weigh all the rumors I've heard from somebody slipped somebody $50 to
take care of a visitor.
Jimmy Hoffa's buried in somewhere in Neyland Stadium, and they're trying to dig him up and move him.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to some fairly serious, but not take them all out back and shoot them kind of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, one rumor's been very persistent that somebody gave a player a credit card and he paid for something. Okay.
Well, one of the stronger rumors is they gave player to cash to go and show a good time to a recruit. That seems to be the strongest rumor. And you've heard the names of all the players involved in the coaching.
I can't help but believe that that's not an incredibly common thing.
It would not seem like fire everybody in the building to me. It does, if that is what happened. If one of your assistants said, here's a few $100, go take care. Now, there are also rumors that an assistant paid $100-something thousand to Amarius Mims. I don't buy that. I don't think they're that stupid. If they are, then you got him maybe for cause.
Yeah.
But your guys thought, where are you?
Especially if you couldn't sign him.
Exactly. That's pretty bad. In terms, it should have been $105,000. In terms of the rumors saying it's going to be bad and the rumors saying it's not going to be bad, where are you, Josh?
And I guess lean on the fact that it's not going to be as bad as people want it to. And I think isn't that a big part of this? Is what spread is spread because you want it to. And you know, last night you have a bowl game going on where fans are watching because they want it to be between the two candidates who will be replacing Jeremy Pruitt, even if he's not going to be replaced.
Boy, the number of people who watched that game and said Hugh Freeze is clearly the guy when he won a 3-point game in overtime over the Coastal Carolina.
After
I was
almost
amazed
blowing
that he
it,
was
yeah.
so clearly the guy
Yeah.
after watching that game myself.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I lean on it not being as bad. Maybe it could be for an assistant if you're trying to move on from a coach or two, or if you need to move on from a coach or two. But as long as Philip Fulmer's the athletic director, then I think Jeremy Pruitt stands a really good chance to be the head coach.
You bring up something fascinating there that, how people reacted to that story. They loved it. It's great. I wonder, A, does that story come out? B, what the reaction is from, no, I know what the reaction is from fans. If that comes out after the Missouri game, you're on an 8-game win streak and you're going to Georgia with a chance to take over the East. The reaction from the fan base would be 1,000% different from what you've gotten, simply because they want him gone now. It would have been, that's made up, you're liars, whoever reported it's a liar, you hate the Vols, etc. It makes me wonder if it even comes out.
If I remember correctly, back in October, he was really building a monster.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right. Clay Travis was all over him. And then 3 weeks later, he's got to go. Jimmy, let me ask you, same question to these guys. You've heard the rumors coming in both directions. Where are you on this thing right now?
If there are, and I'll just pick a number, if there are 5 allegations, I'm going to say that 1 or 2 are probably really serious and the others are not. The idea of giving extra cash to a player to help entertain another player, that is not a major violation. If you paid cash to get a running back, if you paid, here's the other one that I've heard, and that is that on unofficial visits in the summer when nobody's supposed to be making visits, that Tennessee was paying for motel rooms. That might get you in trouble there if you did that widespread. So I'm going to say some of them will probably be really serious, and a number of them would be small potatoes.
Did they have a barbecue, though? That's part of it. But I mean,
And if you did, don't lie about it.
That's don't lie to the NCAA investigators. That's the interesting thing, though, is sometimes the investigation starts here, and you think it's going to be small, and it winds up way over here, and it's something a lot bigger. So that would be, if I'm Jeremy Pruitt and crew, that would be what I'm afraid of. If you start pulling at this string, does the whole sweater come apart? All right, very good. When we come back, who's making this decision? Because all we've heard for the last couple of years was one voice. We're all on the same page now. It doesn't feel that way, does it? We'll discuss who are the power brokers, who's going to make this call on Jeremy Pruitt and the future of the Tennessee football program. Next, come on back on the Sports Source.